We can see I still have not changed the music. Good morning, Hedreich.
Good morning, Alice. Hi, and welcome to unmutED.
Unmuted. So everybody who's watching, please say hello in the comments if you have anything you'd like to ask us about. Again, we are watching the comments. Okay, well, we got things going on. That was not the one that I wanted to show.
Wow, that's awesome. Let's talk about that.
Well, now it's not showing anything. Well,
Do you know your code by Alice from last time is still on there? Or are you going to talk about something about that?
oh,
Your ticker.
I'm not really that great. We need to make a short code for our YouTube playlist. Nope. So I will figure out how to take that off later. Won't hurt anything. Code. Feel free to check out my add-ons for Google Sheets, Google Slides. All right. What do we got going on here today? We've got a list of things. I'm Alice. You're Hedreich. Unmuted. Please use the hashtag. All right, so this morning I got up, I did my hair, I started to do my makeup, but my eyes were just watering. It was raining all day yesterday. It is allergy season. So, Hedreich, did you buy your own Kleenex for your classroom?
I'm out of the classroom. I retired January 31st. I'm a retired teacher, but I did buy myself some Kleenex, but I also don't have allergies. And I'm really thankful for that because Dallas is said to have some of the Dallas-Fort Worth area is said to have some of the worst air quality in the country. So
really,
yeah.
More than LA?
I'd have to look it up, but yeah, it's in the top 5 or 10 or something like that. I think. I don't know.
I moved from Fresno, which was in a basin, like the San Francisco dirty air would blow into there. So we definitely had bad air days, but now I live in Kansas, and my allergies actually are worse when it rains because it's bringing down all of the yuckies in the air. So I would buy Kleenex for my classroom. I remember early on in my career teaching, I told the kids I'd give them extra credit if they brought a box of Kleenex, and my administrator was like, whoa, you can't do that. And in hindsight, it's obviously you shouldn't be able to pay for your grade. It also puts other students at a disadvantage that whether or not they can afford to buy classroom supplies, paying for the grade. So
there's so many things that early on in our teaching careers that we did on a regular basis without thinking of it. But I'm so glad you mentioned that because a lot of people still do that. And it's you do it because the older teachers that trained you and helped you and mentored you, they did it and the people before them did it. But please do think that is, you're paying for your grade. So not extra paper, not Kleenex. That's not a good practice. So let's let that one go.
Yeah. Even though the Kleenex is like tree bark, putting out a newsletter requesting Kleenex from parents, sometimes the people will donate. So
now, and I will say this, there's some really fun things you can do. For example, give your kids a pass that says they can share something special with the classroom. Or, if everybody brings Kleenex, we can have 10 minutes extra recess on Friday. So there are definitely ways to reward people who bring those things, but it should not be connected to grades.
All right. Big news this morning.
If you woke up and you have a news feed, you probably did see that the Pope died a few hours ago. And I think sometimes those kinds of things are difficult to talk about in classroom situations. And so I would really strongly suggest that if kids need some space, make sure that there's some time for that. Some people have a very strong connection to their faith and to the Pope. If there's time for if they're sad or feeling emotional, then make some time for that this morning. And I know it's testing season in a lot of states, but if your kids need to have some conversation, do that, say, hey, we don't have time right now, can we revisit that, because we've got a schedule. But yes, I'm saddened too by that loss for the global community.
Why am I in charge of doing these slides? I'm so awkward.
at it.
Just a reminder, we are having Coffee EDU at ISTE. It is June 30th, 7:30 a.m. Thank you to Book Creator, who is going to be sponsoring the coffee. So if you're going to be at ISTE this year, please make sure that you stop by. Hedreich, are you going to be at ISTE this year?
Yeah, I will be there. It's early, but I will be there. I would not miss it. It was so much fun last time.
Exactly. So join us for Coffee EDU. All right. So Google dropped this new video generation tool. Now, how much time have you ever spent trying to find a perfect video clip for your lesson? I mean, a lot of times I just don't even bother because it's so time consuming. So I've had a preview of Gemini that Google was having me test it out. And I will tell you, it is life-changing. It is so good. I use it all the time. And then it just released the other day. And I was frivolously just making a bunch of prompts. So Google Gemini put out how they said, hey, take the word Gemini and texture it like Jello and have it jumping up and down in a bowl of Jello. And I'm like, I'm going to use that prompt. And then I was making it look like I had my washing a car where my name was the soap sponge and these others. And then it said, I have maxed out all of my videos on the first day. But I didn't because I had a preview. I've been using it all month where I was supposed to be trying it out because I was sending feedback to the team. And now I'm literally locked out until May 14th. And I'm like, no, to me, this feels like such a game changer for multimedia projects and our presentations and finding that one fun clip that really connects in with our lessons. And it is so realistic. It's so good. You know what I love about it? It makes these 8-second videos, but the file size is super small. So
that's so nice because upload time sometimes just if you do anything with content creation,
so
uploading. Oh, that's awesome. I can't wait to play.
Yeah, exactly. So just a warning, you only get 100 a month once you have access. I don't know what access to schools and those things. It just released, and you have to have a Google Premium AI, Google One AI Premium subscription, which is $20 a month for your Gmail. So even though I pay for my Google Workspace for my personally, aside from work, I don't have access in any of those, but it does seem to also maybe work in Whisk. So we'll get into that later. But I can't seem to get access to it outside of this account that I have a preview to. But when it is available, I mean, I can't imagine there wouldn't, in some capacity, come to schools because it is a game changer, really. I hate saying the word game changer because AI just loves to throw around the word game changer. Like everything's a game changer. Like it's really not. So many things I put in there, I'm like, no, this is boring. It's not a game changer. Stop saying that. Stop using the rocket.
And we know this is not going to be for everything, but when you do any kind of a deck, sometimes you need a good hook. And being able to make your own as opposed to searching for one, it is kind of a game changer.
I mean, AI in general just feels like a game changer, but didn't your English teacher teach you to use a variety of phrases and to mix it up? And I wish.
You know what? If you are listening right now and you have a word for game changer, drop it in the chat and we will stop saying.
What do you say besides game changer?
Game changer.
Especially if it's just interesting, but not a game changer. For example, let me put this on here. Okay, wait, I got to remove this one. I'm going to add this one. I opened up Canva this week. Spreadsheets. I mean, you know me, the answer is always a spreadsheet.
Hang on. If you are not a spreadsheet person, it is 7:59. Fill your coffee or, change the date on your whiteboard. And I promise I will keep her to like 3 minutes or less. Okay, go.
I'm just asking, is this a game changer? It's having spreadsheets in Canva, which Canva is free for educators. So I hope everybody has signed up for the free Canva account, and even better is contacting the people at Canva. I don't know everybody at Canva, but I know Scott works there, and he can help connect up your whole school and make it so that students can have access. So I guess Canva just had a big release. So one of the releases here is having spreadsheets. And you know what? I love spreadsheets, but I don't usually make them very pretty. I also don't wrap packages when I go to a wedding, right? It comes in the Amazon box. I'm like, well, it's hidden. I just slap a bow on it. So, but I really do think that having attractive looking, especially today where we're in an age of constant media, Instagram, making it look attractive. Look how quickly I got a really nice looking spreadsheet going on here. I'm not a super big fan of having your column headers lower, but I get it, especially if you're trying to put everything together on one page. But I'm not sure yet if it's a game changer, but I'm certainly happy to see that somebody thought spreadsheets are important enough to include in Canva.
Okay, I'm up. I'm gonna wait. What?
Shame on you.
Yeah, if I can get away with not using a spreadsheet, I will get away with not. I know. I'm sorry.
We're not friends anymore.
Girl, you know you love me, Clint.
Look, I tell my students the first day, maybe not the first day, first week, hey, you guys, if you want to suck up to me, you raise your hand, Miss Keeler, I need some help. And I come over and you have a spreadsheet open and you have frozen the first row. I will love you forever.
Gee,
okay, see the eye rolls on that? But consistently at the end of my classes, when students fill out the evaluation, the thing that sticks out the most is, I'm so glad that we learned spreadsheets. I mean, that is a real life skill. Nobody thanks me for teaching them how to do the quadratic formula.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm excited for you. I've had lots of, actually, most people were most excited about the culture in my class. That's my big flex. And well, I will tell you something.
My culture.
What? My kids
spreadsheets are my culture. We have a culture.
No, my culture was kindness. My culture was kindness. I'm glad that you're excited about spreadsheets, but kindness. No, teenagers who do not go at each other because we realize that life is hard enough and we got to support each other. We don't have to be.
I'm coming over to your house. I know where you live. I actually don't. I know you live in Dallas. We always.
That's your own fault. You have been invited to my house a million times.
And I have a magical talent to help you to love spreadsheets and data. And so when I'm done with you, you're gonna be singing a different tune.
My last district position was on the data team. Data is wonderful. I just, that's what data dashboards are for. That's why there's a data team, to make all of that stuff and put it into pretty pie charts and graphs. Yay, pie charts, yay, graphs.
You're using it wrong. All right, so we did that one, spreadsheets in Canva. It's testing season.
It's testing season. Yeah, if you can pop that link in, Alice.
Wait, how do I make this be you?
Okay. Well, you can see I can talk, but just pop the link in while I talk. The big important thing about testing season is that we treat it as though it's not school. We treat it as though it's testing season, all caps, and learning stops, and all of the things that we do all year stop, and we concentrate on this one quote unquote big thing. But that is not the big thing. The big thing is always learning. Remember that your students need to feel empowered to do their best, but also empowered to fail if their best is not meets and masters. Remind them that the testing score is one part of who they are as a learner. And that's hugely important. And also keep the learning going. And so there's an article in thing, and I'll drop it in Facebook where I'm streaming. And Alice, can you throw that in the ticker or into something? An article from Edutopia that I wrote a while ago about keeping kids engaged during testing season. Remember, learning trumps testing. And I know we have all of these rules and all of these things that are tied to money, tied to federal money, and tied to our assessments as school districts. But remember that we're there to encourage our kids to learn.
For sure. And I'm super into student engagement. I'm not sure how engaged they are about taking a big test. One thing I've noticed over the years when we first started all this testing craziness, we would give the kids like a bingo sheet and they go around and get different data from their teachers and we'd really hype it up and give them burritos. But now the kids, that's been their whole life. They've come up from kindergarten with this testing culture. And I'm like always surprised that a lot of them just feel like this is their norm. And we don't have to sell it to them. They just know that they have to do it. And I feel a little sad about that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Remember, it's about learning. My big speech was, you guys are such wonderful people. Some of you will be academically amazing and do great at this test, and some of you will not. And guess what? That says nothing about who you are. And remind them that, because they're kids who will never pass a star or a task or whatever it is. And they should know that that is not the measure of who they are as people or even as learners.
Yeah, another time I'd like to talk about some of these different personalities and how we just test everybody the same way. Today, I'm not feeling it. Today, I'm feeling like my allergy medicine is finally kicking in. I see a ray. I'm in the basement. I see a ray of light coming through the basement light. Speaking of, I have now stapled the green screen to my wall. You cannot tell, but I have solve some of my green screen problems. Notice I've got it edge to edge now with my...
Oh, I can't see your towel anymore, right?
Not see my towel. I also turned the whole thing 90 degrees, so my towel is now over there. You cannot see it. But I have a ton of lights all around. I got like this guy lighting up my face on each side. Down in my basement.
And I can't be in the basement because I have coworkers, and they're the squirrels and the redbirds, the cardinals that are out in my yard. So
I had a little spider in my bathroom the other day. My son's like, I'm not going in the bathroom anymore.
That's a coworker.
I'd rather have a little spider than a brown recluse. So, but they're big. They're
How
really
big?
big.
What do we talk? Like, what do we call? I mean, in Texas, spiders everything else here will sting you, bite you, kill you. So, what are we talking, spider?
A wolf spider is a friendly spider.
Oh, wolf spider. Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Brown recluses. So I just don't want it on me. So just don't be on me. Then that would be great.
Hey, Alice, do you feel this?
Listen, I'm right now living in the basement. So I'm like, my door just opened. What happened here? My cat, I'm going to post a video later today. The cat cannot stand that I'm working. And it wants to just come in and it sits right here. And here she is. She's probably mad that I'm standing and she can't sit on me in my face, which is probably part of my allergy problem.
Really? You have a cat and you don't know that you're allergic to a cat? Oh, that's funny.
Well, no, I've been allergic to cats, and it's not my cat. It's my kid's cat. My kid's got a cat, but the cat won't leave me alone, and it's probably because I have cat treats in my drawer.
Gee, isn't that, who knew that the cat would not leave you alone, because there are freaking cat treats right there where you are. All right, we've got about a minute left. Listen, if you have questions, if there's some things that you're concerned about or things you want to know more about, please catch up with us on all of the major platforms.
Some topics.
Yep, at Alice Keeler, at Hedreich. Yeah, I don't know how to spell it, so pay attention to the spelling down at the bottom of the screen. And really get in touch with us. We'd be more than happy to answer questions or take them up and discuss them here. And be on the lookout for guests coming soon.
Woo. All right. Thanks, everybody, for joining. We'll see you next Monday. And we are unmuted.